Okay, let's get going. Welcome everybody to our Wednesday Trady Fest. Let's start off with: is there anything that anybody wants to look at out front? I kind of wanted this to be, if possible, just a little bit of a homework session where we're looking at some things that we find interesting together. I can lead a little bit if you want of some things that I've kind of been looking at and go from there. But I would sure like all of us to kind of input and see where we go from things and ask as many questions as possible. I'm here to help you. So that's what I'm here for, is to show you how I navigate the platform, show you how I keep things going on my end. So if we want to start, I'm reading chat as we go so I can take a look at things. One of the things that I've been looking at, and it's changed over the past few days, and I'm watching it pretty close. There was a lot of selling going on here, but one thing I'm looking at is the dealer Greeks build up for PayPal. So I want to take a look. When we're looking at these things, you saw me tweet about it probably over the weekend. We're looking at these things. We see these put deltas decreasing, right? So the put deltas, we just come over here, we click the net put delta. We see these decreasing quite a bit, which is great. And then we come over here to these call deltas. Now today was a downtrend, so we did not do that well with it. But as you can see, now you can see the calls are way up. What I want to see is tomorrow if this is continuation, and if it is, then I will probably go long in it. Obviously, it just depends on what it looks like, and I can walk you through that process if you want. We could take a look. Let me see here. Let me open up the stock dashboard for it, and I will show you where I'd enter if I were trying to go long. We had a little bit of that big red candle today. Let's see if we have Greek levels below, or if we need to go out to a bigger time frame. Let's go out to the hourly. See what we have below. So right now we are resting right here at the bottom of this GEX level. So if we break that, I will not go long for sure. 76.64, I think we closed around 77. If we break that and we continue with market downside, I would do the opposite of what all that information says, because that could bring us all the way back down to 70.67. Does anybody see kind of what I'm saying about? If we consolidate in this range here, and these Greeks continue to be heavy on the call side, I will likely take a look at that point of going long. If we break and get into this ghost zone here and we have a downtrend day, there's no way I'm going long. Instead, I would probably look to that and maybe go short in hopes that these positions flip a little bit between puts and calls and we start to see puts come up. Boy, we got people rolling in. 0 questions so far. Nobody has anything they want to look at. Fudge is typing. Temp mute server naughties. Baxter, how do I mute server? Oh, do I have to go into my own? Is that gonna fix it? Mute until I turn it back on. Nope, we're just gonna go for 3 hours so I don't forget to do this in the morning. There you go. That sounds better, doesn't it?
Yeah, we don't
Yes.
hear people joining all the time.
Yeah. That'll be annoying for the people that watch the first few minutes of this. All right, I'm here. What else do you want to talk about? I showed you kind of my mind. Go over the GEX and the DMD effects of this week. You mean DEX? You mean DEX? You definitely mean DEX. Sure. Let me show you. So you see me talk about DMD when I'm sending out tweets, and I'm gonna touch there first. This did hit pretty large today, almost close to 3 billion. I do not pay attention to these on days that aren't Fridays. Truly, it's so infrequent we see them play out midweek. We had one a few weeks ago. I think Hater had tweeted about it, like it's pretty odd to see one play out in midweek like this. So what I don't do on these days is I kind of ignore them. And I had sent something out earlier saying, hey, I'm not paying attention to this, and we did not run up. Okay, so coming into Friday, it's starting to get a little heavy. I'd obviously like to see the calls come down and push us into this bigger range. 2.5 billion is about where I start paying attention, uh, but not until then. Is that helpful on that category? And then as far as decks goes, I'm gonna be very honest with you. I do not play decks unless I see confluence in plays. Okay, so let's go through that real quick. Let me drag flow line over here real quick and we'll take a look at it. So right here you can see our different DTEs. No way I'm going short with calls this high. Plain and simple. I'm not gonna overnight a short with calls this high. No way, shape, or form. Then let's come over here. Let's look at flash. Here's an extra piece of confluence. Dex tells us big red. Okay. Flash tells us we have some positive flow towards some things. Now, you do need to look at these individually, and we can pick any of them. So PayPal five divergence. We already have that opened up, right? So here it is. Let's go. Let's scroll up and let's go to the 5 day, and let's see if it's actually a little bit positive. So lo and behold, it's a little bit positive. Calls are shrinking a little bit. So it's a little bit of a weird area where we're not sure. I will definitely review MNF next, you bet. So this could be, we do have some information going into later on that there could be some call volume, but as you can see, it's starting to dip down a little bit, even though puts are staying low. As you can see, puts gradually lowered today, which means that these people were just exiting with profits. So when it comes to playing decks, I want three. I want three of three. I want a red dex. I want red divs, and I want a pretty conclusive flow line showing all the different DTEs. Now MNF, this is a tricky one. This is a real tricky one. So I went long, very light early. MNF warned us about the change after the morning brief rally, and I could not get a direction from it for a bit with the divergence. Okay, yeah, so you're talking about once we get this convergence area here and things aren't that great, this is just my stay out area. Plain and simple. You saw me tweet about it. I do not like to take plays when we're in this convergence area. It just makes me a little nervous, and I really don't want to play. I wouldn't say nervous. I'm a pretty calm trader. I only want to play setups that make sense to me. So if we go back and look at today's price action, let's go all the way up here. If you saw my early tweet where I said I am not long right here, right? So we're looking at not very long into the open. I just did not like it around that time period. It just We had lost convergence right around there. I didn't think it was a good idea to stay long. I had taken some light ones early, and I didn't take this short all the way down, by the way. I did not. I waited and waited and waited, and I took some shorts throughout these periods and these periods here, and then I took a few at the end of the day here, actually. Right as we flipped into this gray, I went against my own rules and took a little bit maybe here, and these were 20% hitters. I think I had one for 50, one for 40, one for 28, right around there in those different scalps. So I'd say, you know, especially if you are new to trading, this can save you. This can really save you. May you miss a little bit of a move, you might. You really might. You might miss a 100%er or a 50%er and something, but what you really want is your risk to be minimized in all your plays. I don't think I saw anything less than 1% red on any of my plays because I waited until I thought it was right. I drew out these levels that I play every day, and as soon as I saw certain things, I just went short, right? And here would have been an exit spot on a short, and then this late day one, I think I did some scalps into Friday just to try to get a little bit of extra scratch so I could hit my 10% on the day. Okay, I'm waiting. Was that a good explanation, Con? Yep, good. It's just one of those things. It's a feel. A lot of people do a lot of different things. They look at volume or VPA, or they look at different points of control. I am simply an RSI and a levels trader. So anytime we're at a high RSI nearing a level, I may short anyways, even if it's against certain things. I may just turn off all my brain and do it, but that's very rare. I'm generally waiting for confirmation because it's just an easier play. Now, I could have nailed this. Obviously, this is a big move here. That would have been 200 or 300%. I could have nailed that no problem, but I'm okay with hitting base hits all day and compounding those gains. It's the what ifs aren't really healthy. It's what did I do? For new, does price direction square with flow direction? Yep, that's a very good analogy there, Laggy. Anybody have anything they want to look at? I'll tell you, and I talked about it last week. I spent a lot of time looking at these flows here. Hey, see you later, Mo. This will be on YouTube later if you get bored. So we're looking at Finn here. Obviously has quite a bit coming in. Energy has quite a bit. Consumer cyclical. Communication service has been getting pounded left and right. It's rarely gone in the red. What I really want to do, I don't want to base my trade tonight off of this. I want to look at it tomorrow morning about 15-20 minutes into open and see if it's still going. Listen, if they're gonna push money into the fin sector over and over and over again, and it's going to continue that way, you are not going to miss out on a whole lot of profits if you enter, and you'll have a better chance at getting a better entry anyways if you're a little bit patient and wait for a pullback if you're long in it. XLF has been selling off though, and that's one of those things that you kind of have to look at. Let's see, I think I had XLF open here. We could take a look. XLF has been selling off to this dark pool right here, actually. I hate that part of it. Let me zoom it back out. Selling off directly to this one right here. So this would actually be, and if it doesn't break this and get down to 34.50, then this could be a decent long entry if that's one of the things. I did see the IWM trade flow. That's crazy. Feedback you were hearing. Did that answer your question, Jam? Let me go there first. Just because something's selling off today doesn't mean it's selling off tomorrow. And what I'm looking for is a sell-off of a sector before I enter it. I really, 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 really want to see something dip if I'm going to long, and I want to see something go parabolic before I short. Always, that's just the way it works. um, let's see here. All right, answering Eco's question next. Then we'll talk about the IWM one just because it's ridiculous and huge. Hard to find an entry. Yes, Eco, and that's the thing, and that's really, and I'm going to be honest here. That's screen time that's going to help you get some of those things, and this is why I know everybody says RSI is a lagging indicator, and I would prefer to enter over 70, but a lot of these RSIs, these little resets here, were so close to about 50, 55, 60. They would just give us a green candle to reset a little bit, and they'd go down again. And that's kind of what I look for in my shorts on days like that. And I will also say that when I'm playing a day that's like this, and there's not a lot of confluence in the trades I'm taking, I will drop my contracts down from an awful lot to an awful little. And one of the great things that you can get is if you hold throughout this and you only bet $100, you could make 300 without with your risk off, as opposed to betting 3 or 4 thousand at once. and that's a good day. I mean, if someone told you you could make a couple $100 a day the rest of your life extra, you'd probably be pretty happy with it. I don't know if that helps, Eco. Yeah, the Pal COVID thing was. Let's talk about IWM really quick. Let's pull up Trady Flow just so we can see it. This is a record. Listen, our past few IWMs, there it is, 95. Let's check the position and see if they're still in it. Let me just fast this, get this going a little quicker. See what it pulls up. So here's today. Here's our 95 orders. Let's go to our plus sign. Let's see if they're still in their position. We've seen so many of these IWMs, so they sold some, they sold some, they sold some. So they did get out some, for sure, taking profits on the way down. These IWM ones have not hit as well as I'd like some of the other ones. And I try to avoid a lot of times the ETFs overall when they're in the trading flow, just because they can be vehicles for hedging. Let's see here, scrolling through today, except for GS, banks weren't selling off. Not so much, which is why I still have a little bit of faith in PayPal, even though it's not a bank. Uh, but it's close enough to one. You know, it's in the fin sector. Yeah, no one expected PAL. They were looking for a reason. Uh, they were looking for a reason to dump the market. Are all of my white levels on TradingView extracted from MNF via the indicator procedure that you learned from Fatty Trades? No, Con. Actually, they're not. I hand draw mine. I am very, very, very particular in the way I do things. You could call it OCD. I try to keep my eye from twitching by controlling my own levels, and I can show you how I do it. There's a video out there, by the way, Con, of how I do it. But let me go ahead and just clean this up real quick, get it out, and I'll just do you a quick solid. I go to the time frame I want to see. I click Greek levels. I hit all, and then I find points of contention to draw my Greek levels. So right here, we're right at one. This is a spot right here on this candle that we've either bounced lately just a little bit right there to send us up the other day, and then I click the text tool and I draw my own level. Um, I know I can just click directly on the area and still get the level, but I really do like that line there because I'm very, very OCD. That's the nicest way to put it for myself. What does SPY look like to you for the 1/27 expiry PCE day? I'm not sure I understand the entire question. Yep, there's that link. You want me to go to SPY, huh? Are you asking about what I see right here, Trade? I don't look at this ever. I'm gonna be honest with you. Heat maps on an ETF are ridiculous, mainly because they are vehicles for hedging. I would advise. I know everybody likes to go to these screens. I have been successful with Tradytics. I know I say that wrong every time, so no one listen to me. I've been successful with Trady for quite a while. Originally just with algo flow, and then moving on to market net flow. You will find so much confusion reading this flow here, because it's such a vehicle for hedging. You have no idea what is a hedge, what is an actual call. So for the 27th, I'm not looking at much of anything. I would look further out into maybe our flow timeline to see what the 27th looks like. So if we get rid of a lot of these here, you can see the 27th is starting to just dip just a little bit, but it's still holding a pretty straight line. Does that make sense? It doesn't have 616. That's pretty far out, isn't it? Didn't you ask about 127? Am I reading? Oh, okay. That makes sense. Well, that's one thing we'd have to talk to them about where those are at. And another thing that I'm going to look at is if we're looking at the week of 127, where we are on our daily, weekly, and monthly flow maps. These are just like looking at the other things, but put into bars for you so you can scroll over and see. So if we're looking at what they're thinking next week, okay. Oh, this is the entire market. Actually, this is not indices. That's correct, right, Baxter? I don't think indices are in here. This is just flow traders in general. So we're mixed. We're mixed. We're a little bit heavy there, and then folks are anticipating they're probably just getting some shorts today for tomorrow and Friday in this spot here, if I were guessing. Oh, there's the index. There you go. Thank you, Fudge. So if we're growing across the board, we're light. 27 is here. More puts than calls. The June puts got pumped today. Yes. What else we got? Is this helping? These super simple graphs and charts are meant to keep you from having to go insanely in depth all those things. Now, I'm not going to knock you if you do that. If you have a massive brain and you want to decipher every piece of flow, I think that is absolutely beautiful. I would prefer to look at these and look at MNF and go from there. And my levels, of course, that's the most important thing for me. I never have SPY options dashboard open except for to check the forward correlations or the price distribution that Hater tweets about all the time. And even then, we're still showing bullish kind of there, aren't we? A nice, yeah, so much data. That's why I'm here. I'm here to smooth brain that down for you, Trade, and try to make it a little bit simpler for you, and show you how I'm successful without having to read every portion of this absolutely robust platform. There's just so much in here, and you could get lost. And I remember starting in the beginning. I was a successful trader beforehand, just drawing out levels, and I thought this place looks cool. Everybody seems friendly in the Discord. I'll jump in. And I remember going through when there were like 5 or 7 tools, it felt like, and being absolutely just bamboozled by the things I was looking at. And one of them was daily live flow. As it was coming through, uh, I was lost. Now, I feel comfortable looking at live options flow. Y'all know my favorite settings, don't you? Spot, above ask, OTM, short expiry, and then I exclude the symbols that I want to exclude. Always non-ETF. I get rid of Tesla. I get rid of Apple, and then I see what happens from there. We got questions coming. Price distribution. So that's one we were just talking about. I've got so many tabs open now. So what you want are the big bars going up. He does between 3 and 5 days. Really depends. I think sometimes it's switched. So if we look at our 5 day, we're not looking good. So here we're leaning over this way. He would be the best to explain to this. It shows that we have a pretty decent possibility if you look at percentage wise, right? So probability change 20% for a zero point 0.8 to 1.6 run up. We have about that same, a little bit lower, 18% for a dip. And then these get pretty small over the 5 day. But these, even though they're lower percentages, if you just draw a line with your eye across, they're still above here. So it looks like we still have a pretty decent chance of having a sizable day, or let's say zero point 0.8 to 2.3, even though it shrinks over here. I sure can. Frozen. We've only done one so far. Well, we did one. I don't know, in July, a long time ago. That was just kind of an offshoot, and it may have been just for people in my Discord. I can't quite remember. But yep, it's on my YouTube channel. If you go to the Tradytics Twitter spaghetti, it's on there. If not, I'll put it in chat later. What other questions do we have? Plenty of time. I know, I know. Back's linked the Tradytics Performance. I would say I look for trady flows of 10 plus all the time, and you can literally click 10 plus here, and you can find out where they were. Like this CVS one that I entered yesterday, I got out this morning luckily with 6% before the entire market went bananas and dropped. I also did not buy out to 818. I bought, I think, only a week out just to see, and luckily I got out beforehand. Now, if we continue dipping tomorrow, I may re-enter this and go a little bit lower, maybe a 93 or a 92, and maybe go 2 weeks out with it and just kind of ride that out a little bit. What options expire and strike distance do you go for? Oliver, that is a wonderful question. That is a very, very, very good question. So let's go back to our levels here. Let's say I am long PayPal and I draw my levels and I see our consolidation happening here, and I realize we've got heavy flow to the upside. Our dealer positioning is looking really, really good. I want to go with my strike midway. So I want to see a ghost zone this size to enter, and I want to go a week or two out unless I am going into a heavy scalp on a flow day that is going in the direction of my trade. So let's say we are in a heavy confluence upwards day and I catch it down here, I might go for an 84 that day on a weekly. But if I'm going a week or two out, I am going to go an 82 strike, 83 strike, right around there. That a helpful answer? How do I? There we go. Never mind. I figured it out. Do I add up and what percent of port? Uh, do I average up? No, I do not average up. I will if I'm swinging. If I am swinging, I will give myself four chances. So let's just say I want to make $1,000 on my trade. I will buy I will buy at 250, 250, 250, and then 250 on dips, and I will draw those dips out of where I'm willing to add. And if it just seems like it's going bad, I may just take my 20% stop and roll. Sometimes I don't. I try to time my entries to where I don't hit those stops. That's not always the case. There are some out there, but I do hit them for day trades immediately. On day trades, I hit an immediate stop for my scalps at 20. I don't want to lose more than that on any trade. I do not add in if the trade works out. I am willing to take 250 and turn it into 500 and just let a swing trade ride. And I'm willing to set a stop every day that moves it up a little bit so it's for continuation. But I don't want to continue to add. Now for day trades, it's a little different for me. I will size up quite a bit if I'm very confident. So instead of buying in 250s for a scalp, I may throw. I don't like to throw more than 1,000 at every trade. I'm a pretty conservative person, and I don't think I don't think I need to make that much more money every day to be happy. Trading is not necessarily a hobby. It's my favorite thing in the world to do, but I do have a pretty good job, and this is just some bonus income that I get every day. And really, I generally don't make more than one or two, tops three trades a day throughout the time. But for my day trades, if I'm confident, I will go heavy immediately and then try to get out with 20%, 30% sometimes, and then start scaling at levels and let runners do their thing. Those runners are what pay you. You could end up with 400% on a contract that you spent $30 on, and you may only have three left, but if you add that money up, it adds up real fast. What is the safest way to trade eco? Good question. Good question. SPY using MNF is my safest way. I will say, eco, that if you are leery of ETFs, practice on something that is not SPY. Practice on something that the contracts aren't outrageous, depending on your account size, or even if your account's $1 million and you just want to practice. Apple, AMD, the banks, BAC, things like that, they move well. You can get 30, 40, 50% from trades if you draw out your levels and you're patient and you follow the flow. The ETFs for the sectors, XLF, XLE, all those things, I would say the safest way to trade is in conjunction with that. Now, SPY is going to carry most days the same way Apple is. So if you want to trade that, do that. If it's a bad day for, let's say, chips, and you see they're all down, and SPY is going up, don't try to long AMD on a day SPY is going down. Options, you want volume, you said it, Fudge. Oliver, do I use a percent rule for sizing? No, I do not at all. Um, every penny in my account, I am willing to lose. Um, I keep I keep a strict set of rules. There are occasions that I slide the bar all the way over and use all of my buying power in one trade. It I've been doing this for a long time, a very, very, very long time. So, I mean, 10 years isn't a long time, but I've been doing it long enough where what's in my account, I'm not going to be upset if it disappears that day. Now, I use stops on day trades, so I'm not going to lose more than 20%, but I'm okay with going heavy, heavy. No problem. I love these questions, by the way. I usually don't get like actual personal how do I do this questions. It's more show me the click. So this is interesting. Go to scanner for trade ideas in here. Scanny trade, yeah, I would say I use that. I really don't do a lot of scans like I used to. It's just become one of those things where I would prefer to see what the day is showing me. I would really prefer for open to show me what's going on a little bit, and then about an hour in for me to start kind of getting those ideas going. But I do like, when it comes to scans, I do like looking at this dark pool section here down near the bottom trade, and I like to see what sectors are going in. So from there, like I showed last week, I may filter. It says Fin is getting a lot, so I might go through here. I've got Fin set up. I will go through and I will look for financials, and I will just start to see. Okay, so BRKB has been getting hit at the ask. C has been getting hit at the ask. So let's just say, okay, banks aren't selling off that much right now. Let's see. All right, so let's put it together. Citibank is sitting at a DP level right now, pretty close. We've got a pretty sizable one here, so it does have some room down. 47. Wow, we're really sitting at a nice one there. 49.40. So 49.48 is a fairly sizable one. All right, so if we're taking a look at that, its dark pool sentiment isn't looking that great, and its block trade sentiment isn't looking that great, but it was getting hit at the ask. So I might then go for Citibank and go into its options dashboard. Pretty heavy hit out here. That is a year from now, so not super interested in that. But we can come down here then, and we can check our put deltas. They are rising. Call deltas are about the same, so we're mid. This could just mean some consolidation over a period of time. But let's go back to the stock dashboard. That's where I like to do my drawings. Let's go back and take a look. Oof. I don't like that. When I see these muddy gecks that are all rubbed together like this, where you can't really tell, I lose interest pretty fast in the trade for a little bit. Although I did ride C for a couple of weeks a while ago on some longs that just kept going up. If I were to look for an entry on there, I'd not I'd start at 48.38 and then work my way down. Muddy gecks, yeah. Too much in there. Oh, Laggy does know my favorite scanny settings though. Let's we can go there. Let's get tab number 50 open. Minimum. All right, we're back at it. Perfect. Later, spaghetti. Yeah, thank you, Trade. It's a weird space to be in my brain, full of odd things going on there. That's for sure. Have a good night, spaghetti. So looking at Baba, I sure would like to see it go down to this 105, and then I mean, just if wishes were ponies, let's short this garbage down to 75 and make everybody happy. What else we got? I got about 20 more if we need it. If we don't, then laggy. I am not drawing at the top or bottom of a band. I am drawing at a point of contention. So let's stretch this out. Which ticker had a good breadth? That would be Netflix, right? That one had a pretty good Walmart. Okay. Well, Walmart I'm very upset with this week, as you can see, because I was long. So that's not going well. To show you laggy, I'm looking for a point in the gex where a lot of things are running together, where we see points of contention and spots where price has hit a bunch of times. So if you see right here, if you slide over, it's hard to see on these candles. Middle of this gex, we've had bounces, we've had rejections, we've had all the things we're looking for. So that is where I'm trying to draw my level in that gex, where the most pain or pleasure has happened. What else we got? I can do this all night. Or not. W? I don't even know what that is. Oh, Wayfair. Oh man. All right. All right, Jam, just for you. Ugh, hot garbage. I don't want to trade this. Let's get some levels. Let's push this up a little bit. We can see right there. See the wicks? See where we go? Yeah, I know. That's how I feel about it. Let's drop below a little bit. 41.82. Let's find our next one. That looks like a pretty good spot right there. Pretty close. 39.61. There's just no movement here. This is actually a ghost zone down here. This little spot. So, I mean, we'll check the flow here in a sec. Such a small area. Shorten that down wouldn't be bad. It would have been beautiful to short it when it was above up here today for sure. I mean, you can see if we can get a level there. Look at how perfectly that lined up with candles from another day, from the 12th. I mean, if you're just looking at the daily chart, it's basically just a double top right there. Pretty good. All right, let's look at its flow real quick. I'm not reading what you just said out loud, Laggy. Not going to do it. Put deltas are minimal. Call deltas are getting sold off. This is a if the market doesn't ramp up tomorrow, or even if it does, this might not be too bad of a short. Algo time frame is looking short down to about mid of that range. Delete it for posterity's sake. Hi Trap, how are you tonight? Make sure to be appropriate, my brother. It's family time. What else you guys got? I saw macaroni pop in, but never ask any questions. I don't do crypto jam. I can't help you there. I don't play with fake internet money. Lucid Drew, and then we'll do back. Okay. Lucid. As you shouldn't. Looking short. Algo's looking a little short. Put Delta. Call Delta's still up a little bit. I would love to see that dump first. So when I see these, my brain just says maybe a little bit of range before anything happens. That's generally how I feel there. All right, I will do BAC next, then Roblox. I love trading BAC. One of my favorites. I love banks because they're slugs and you can hold them forever, and let them just go along. Put Delta down. Look at that. Call Delta up. What were we talking about with the fin sector, right? So the algo may not look good. That's a lot of puts. 15-minute, a little further out, a little bit more positive there. We'll get you some levels. It might have it as a bear play now. I mean, look at today's candle. Great idea. Great idea. It just might be flipping for later on. What's bear this week can definitely be bull next week. Nope, I'm not drawing those levels. Not doing it. You all are trying to make me sad. Sorry for that one. What do I see in put call delta? Sorry, I missed that. What's ideal? I want to see calls way up and puts way down for a long, or puts way up and calls way down for a short. Did I already switch to 1 hour here? I did not. Y'all, this is gonna be a mucky muck. Oh, Tim Luke, you're not muted. I can hear your background noise. Hold on. All right, got him muted. Okay, so Roadblocks is resting on this Gex here. This is going to be the tiniest little area. Good God. Good goodness. I wouldn't short this because there's so much space here where there's not a lot of price action. I guess 34 to 32 would be pretty nice. That wouldn't be too bad. Let's check its options. Let's see. Why y'all playing these things? I just want some answers. Put deltas are up, but see, gosh, look there. They were way up there. So still pretty mid to me. I want to see these call deltas way down if I'm going to short. So we'll still ignore that one. Delta flip puts back. Okay. We did Netflix. Yep, we did. Someone said Crocs. Are you being serious on Crocs? Tell me. Tell me, Drew. We're not doing. Yes. All right. I mean, there's not even an algo for it. The flow's so thin. Are you going to buy one contract? Low liquidity plays. Wow. Yeah, see this? Call deltas up, put deltas up. That's a no play for me. We're not done till Amazon. We will look at Amazon. I have to scroll through. Y'all have typed a lot while I was going through these. All right, we did back. We did Roblox. I'm skipping anything that Trap says pretty much for all time. MGM, and then we're going to do Amazon. I know that was a pretty quick look, Drew. But when I see there's not even an algo for MGM, uh, so few bought. I know that was pretty quick, but sometimes that quick put and call in an algo that's not showing up tells me it's low liquidity. I'm not going to play it. That's one of those things that you see one of the weird pumpers on Twitter, saying everybody buy this right now, and it ends up being they scale out and you're their exit liquidity. There's not even information for MGM. It's so illiquid. MGM would be Metro Golden Mayer. I'm not sure. Movies, Amazon, everybody's fave. Entertainment. There you go. Betting on the stock of a casino company. It's like risk inception. That's one of the funniest things you've ever said to me. Oh goodness. All right. So let's take a quick look at Amazon. Puts down, calls down. Just as many people are confused as they could be in this spot. Just crazy. Crazy to see. CVX. Check. Let's look at Amazon's chart really quick before we flip away. I don't want to cut you short on it. Ugh. So here's what's interesting. There's look out below, right? I mean, really, that's a really good spot right there. It's a really good spot right there for a level. You can see our wick up. You can see us project a couple of times there. We're sitting right on it now. 95.66. Let's just go down mid for some wishes. There's no gex here, but we can look at a level. We can draw our line across. Look left. All right. See where we've had some fairly decent points of contention. Go above. That's a really juicy short if the market takes an L. No, there's nothing below. So there's I mean unless there's some big dark pools. Let's take a look at it real quick. Drag this over so we can look at them, kind of pair it together. Excuse me. So we're resting on this DP right here. Starts to jive into this 89 area if we lose that dark pool, since there's not really any gex below. 96.40, 94.66. So really a loss of 94.66 can send us down pretty quickly. Look at that. Look where we draw that level. 87.38. So not bad. 85.96 would be the next biggest. Our 82 is our largest. So it could potentially pull down there if the market participates. I think does it have earnings coming up? Anybody know? That's right. CVX. Sorry. Take a quick look at its dark pool really quick. Once again, you can see a lot of these are resting on some fairly major levels. Just kind of hanging out there. 177.45 is its largest. That's pretty. That's pretty big. Tech earnings end of month big dump event. Hope you all know this is just as fun for me as it is for you. Uh, I enjoy doing this. I enjoy answering the questions. It's good for us to do homework together and kind of line out ideas. And we're going to do it every week. Every single week, we're going to do this and just kind of keep gold. All right, we're doing UAA and then gold, and then I'm calling it a night so I can see my wife. Not too bad there, really. If energy keeps getting pumped, though, I would look to long and then check again. Check its algo. check CVX's algo, and then check the dark pool energy sector, see how it's going, and check and look from there. That is how I would check CVX. If it continues down a little bit, I would this is where I would potentially look for my first long. UAA, what is you? Oh, Under Armour. Man, y'all pull out some weird stuff. This is on an uptrend. We're gonna have to go out to the daily to get good levels, though. Oh, nothing. That's interesting. Bougie clothing sector. Resting. Oh, is that really what its price is? I didn't even go to look. It's under $10, or under $15. Nice. All right. Well, there's nothing holding it above. There's nothing really keeping it. If it breaks this 1190 dark pool a little bit, it's got room. But I would just consistently look for breakouts and then short it down to 11 if I played stocks this size. Drew, we're going to do this every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central. And I'm going to record them all too, so we can go through and do that. All right, gold. Gold was our last one, huh? Does this show you all kind of how I prepare for each thing? And I do. Oh, I'm not drawing that out. Look at this. This is just clutter. Pure clutter. Let's look at its dark pools. Once again, it's about to rest on one. See? So this is where you might want to think about going. I hate playing. Um, I hate playing gold, silver, things like that. I used to hedge with them, and now I just hedge with UVXY. It's mainly what I put my crash protection into. I used to look to these things. I feel like some of the disconnects, some of the things the market used to do are disconnected from what they do now. Uh, Used to be everybody went heavy gold, right? If the market was going down, get into the commodities, and it just doesn't seem like it's as connected that way as it used to be. Yeah, you said it right. The market's rigged. That's why I just go inverse of whatever they are doing. UVXY is going to go up if SPY goes down, so I just continue to buy it on everything there. Yeah, let's look at its algo really quick and see if it's giving us any negativity. Well, I mean, folks want to short it for sure, but as you can see here, some boomers are starting to slap it, thinking the market's going to collapse. They're unsure. Put deltas up. Call delta starting to shrink. If we can get this call delta to go down this way just a little bit, it'd be a good short. You could short it 170, 175s maybe a couple weeks out could be a decent play. Right now, Laggy, as plunge protection, I'm feeding UVXY 10% of every day's wins, no matter what the price is. Yep, commons. I'm not going options on it. I don't want to worry about it. When it goes back up to $20 and I bought it below 6, I'm going to feel really happy. So that is my thought process there. Obviously not financial advice. It's just how I hedge. One more. Then I got to put these videos together, merge them, and send it out. AMD. If there's one thing I love to short into the ground, it is AMD. So this we've been watching this for a little bit. They're starting to go off on puts a little bit. The call and put delta on Dealer Greek's build up, look at these puts. So they're starting to shrink a little bit now, but it did have an uptrend for a couple of days, and the calls were below a little bit or shrinking. I really want to see these go down to find a good short. Let's see where it's at level wise. Just literally resting on a dark pool right here. Let's draw it out real quick though, just to get an idea. Uh-oh. Have a good night, Laggy. Thank you for stopping by and bringing your wonderful insight. Beautiful. That looks like a good spot for our first level. This one's a little iffy. If we look left, though, we've got some spots. So a couple weeks out, if the market's not doing well, 67. Get a $3 move over a couple weeks if the market starts going downside. That's a pretty safe play. Obviously, you want to continue to check its its options, its deltas to make sure things are going down in the right direction and up in the right direction once your puts going up and your calls going down. And then you want to do this. Usually, you want to draw it out. You want to draw it out on your chart with your levels. You want to set alerts. So we want to set alert for 70, 75. We have an uptrend day. You can draw that out if you think that's going to be a nice spot to short. Right, it's not too far off. 74.21 seems pretty far fetched right now, but it is in a ghost zone. So if we have a nice big uptrend day, there is potential for it to go that direction. This would be right here. 74-ish would be my ideal short spot for it, with correlation from all the other things. What's up, Fedora? Are you trying to talk? Somebody had a hot mic for a second there. Oh, it's Polly. I'm muting you, Polly. Okay, any other questions before I go? Any thoughts on next week's action going into earnings? No, no fudge. I don't really play it that way anymore. I've found that it's so much easier to. I found it so much easier to just ignore what might be happening next week and wait for the day to play out. I think there's so much you can do on a day-to-day basis with scalps while slowly looking at some of the flow and some of the tools we have to look for some swings here and there. Uh, I just don't really try to do that anymore. I think earnings are going to be bad, um, and I think I'm not going to play the ticker that has the earnings. I'm going to play a pairing that goes with it. So if a bank has earnings on one day and the other bank doesn't that week, I might play that. So you might play JPM shorts if you think BAC is going to go short, right? Or if they're going to miss earnings. I just time it that way and play pairings. I no longer at all play any earnings ever. I just leave it out. It's just a little bit simpler. Anybody else have anything? You're all very welcome. I've had a good night. You spend enough time in the market. I'll tell you this: one of the most important things you can do over time is not gamble your money away. If you had an amazing day and you want to throw $100 at something, that could turn into 1,000 pretty quick, go for it. But make sure you risk the least amount of your portfolio possible, and just wait for the plays to come to you. I hope this was helpful. We're going to do it again next week, and we're just going to kind of keep doing it every week until everybody is happy. Thank you all for coming. This was an absolute blast. Yep, they all are about $3 apart. Thank you all. I'll see you next week. This will be up on YouTube if you want to rewatch it here. It'll take about 3 hours for all this to process.
So now we're going to have to create
Also,
a new tradable low. Well, here's the absolute low. Here's some closes. You're going to want to put it up here.
well, who's that? All right. All right. I'm stopping the recording. Everybody, go get that Oprah money.
Down here, this flow has already been tested, so